I did quite a bit since the last video, and if you look off in the distance there, you will see the remote control wire is inside the remote control box, and that's as far as I got with it. I marked all the wires. Now I'll show you how I did this. Try not to give too much camera movement here. Alright. Each wire is marked. All the white wires are used up. Doubled on the white for the B+, and they're sticking together here because I had to squeeze them together to get them through here. I should have put them through here first and then put the masking tape on. But anyways, this is the positive doubled up on the white, as I said. Here's the here's the negative. The bare wire and one black wire, and that's the negative. Alright, I used up all the white wires, which is what I wanted to do, and I've got a few black wires left. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black wires left. They're just stuck in here right now to get them out of my way. The motor speed control is right here. It's a little bit of a rat's nest, but the wires are tucked out of the way with masking tape, and they run down here and they run to the appropriate circuits. This is the I wire. The I motor's already connected up, and like I say, I may be using double A's or C's or D cells in the remote for the eyes, because the eyes don't get used all that much, only when I'm doing the skit, and it doesn't need a very heavy-duty battery because it's very low current drain, less than an ampere, I believe. So the amplifier goes in here. That's not going in yet. So let me show you the remote section here. Okay, I got the wires marked off left and right. That's the head turning for the relays, left and right. So when I flip the switch, it'll put positive on the left. Flip it the other direction, it'll put positive on the left. So it'll energize either the left relay or the right relay. Quite simple, actually. This is the main B+, doubled up, as you can see, the 18 gauge wire. This just gives me a little assurance that I'll get full voltage at the mouth trigger, and it simplifies things. So this will be down on the positive bus, this will be down on the negative bus, and this is the mouth trigger. It will be connected to the push button, which will be connected to the positive bus by way of the push button, so it'll energize. And all the common negatives, or everything in the Dorkel body, is down on the common negative, and all the positives are down on the common positive. So what I've got here is all my white wires used, but these are extra wires, the black ones. And all I'll do is mark them. Nobody else is going to be working on this thing, so it's kind of like, well, I built it and I know where stuff goes. It's like similar to what John from the UK did. He built it, but, you know, there's no schematic or anything. My schematic is in my head. Although, I'll be honest with you, I do sit around and think when I'm having coffee, and there's wood burning all the time on my shoulders. Now this connector Steve gave me with the box, this was here. That's a place for another connector. So this fits perfectly. And all the switches are going to be, and push buttons are going to be on the cover. Whatever batteries I put in for the I motor will be down here. And that's not 100%. I'll tell you why. I might still drop the voltage. by way of resistors, which I don't like to do because that's wasting power, but I could drop the voltage down from the 12 volts off the 12 volt bus and feed the I motor, which is right here. Here's the I wires right here. Oh, it's only one wire. There is no left and right on the I's, simply because the motor just goes around on a crank that I built inside of his head, which I will show you here. I am connected to the I wire, and I'll connect it to the 6 volt. We're feeding 6 volts. This will be the same thing as feeding in with the push button, but using a small battery. I'm not going to put this in there. It'll take up the whole room and it's too heavy. If you look here, this is, the motor just goes around and around. Unfortunately, when I built it, it doesn't turn to the right, his right. But that's all the motor does. It just, there's a crank in there that cranks around. So basically, it's quite simple. And while I'm at it, off camera, I'm going to measure the current so I can determine what size batteries I can use in here. And the box just flips with these clips here, one in each corner, just 2 of them. So I can open it and pull the batteries out of it. Not a problem, because when I put Dorkel away, I removed the battery anyways. Now, I got this way. The wires are the battery's supposed to be turned around and going that way, but basically for test purposes, I just stuck it in here for now. I still got to work on the bottom and get this, you know, with some felt or something in there. I got to put the amplifier in and everything. But I did want to give you some kind of an update on this here, and to show you that everything works, I will connect back the battery on the Dorkel. And here's the left and right. I'll touch it to the positive. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do now is I am going to, this is the positive now. The battery in Dorkel is connected. So let's connect up this. We'll connect up this. Anybody wants Dorkel to fart or anything, well, I got a fart machine, a battery operated fart machine that I might hook up to the amplifier in here, run it through the subwoofer here, and I got the wires up in the remote in order to do that, but the fart machine I've got is a wireless one. But we'll see. We'll see what the audience has to say about that, because there are some people that don't like that kind of stuff. I think it's humorous within reason, of course, not overdone. All right, I'm going to hook some switches and push buttons up to this, and I'll get back on either this video or another video after I get most of that completed. I want to get the left and right head motor switch hooked up. I want to get the mouth push button hooked up. And of course the common positive and the common negative are secured here, or at least so it don't short out. All right, I'm going to show you a little bit of what I did. This is fiberglass. Steve told me it was fiberglass. I thought it was plastic, but it is fiberglass. And I'm careful with drilling because I don't want to crack it. I don't know. I'm not familiar with drilling in fiberglass, but it seems to be good. So I used a big bit, but then I got to file it down to get the switch in. I got the push button in. Now the push button, when I first took it out of the box and checked it, it says, geez, you know, that pushes hard. But you know what? Listen to this. It's making contact by just touching it like that. You don't need to push it all the way down like that. Just touch it a little bit. And I already tried it out in the Dorkel mouth, and it works good. So this is the mouth trigger. I used up all my screw-down terminal strips, small ones. Steve sent me 2 when I used them in the Dorkel body. I was going to make a common bus terminal strip down here for the positive and one for the negative. But we're doing it this way. Using wire nuts, I brought in 4 number 18 wires into here and then put red tape around it to signify that this is the positive. So what I'm going to do here, and it's kind of a Mickey Mouse way of doing it, but it's called pigtailing. I'm going to put 2 or 3 more wires on this, put a wire nut on it, and that'll go to the other circuits that are necessary, and I may have an extra 1 or 2 for added features later on. You know what? I didn't use my damn head. I didn't realize the switch was long. Well, I knew it, but I measured from out here. Okay, that's why I wanted the left and right head. This is going to be the head motor switch, reversing. Okay, this is the mouth trigger, but I didn't leave myself very much room here. It'll work, but it'll be close. We're only using 2 contacts on this. This is common, this is normally open, and this is normally closed. We don't need the normally closed one. We can't mount it here this way because the hole is too close to here. That's poor planning on my part. Well, I can't put this switch here because it needs to go this way because it's the left and right action, and it will only fit in this hole this way because I didn't measure carefully. It's not gonna fit. See, because of that, it's too close to this. Right now, I'm gonna not worry about that. We're gonna locate this. I need to have this switch so that it goes left or right, depends on what way I'm facing. I'll be facing Dorkel this way, so the switch will be marked and the wires will be put on accordingly as to his left or his right, regardless of which way I'm looking at him. The head will turn left, will be his left. So the way this hole is here, it forced me to mount it this way, and that would mean like an up and down motion. Obviously we can't have that, so we're going to make it over. We're going to put it over here. We might even put it in the middle. Alright, I got the switch in, and I didn't move it in the perfect center because I want room for other things, but it's good. I'll still use this for something, I don't know what yet. Because I don't really want a push button there because it's going to get confused with the mouth trigger. This is the mouth trigger here. Just hardly touch it. This is the head motor. I'll turn left. As I'm looking at it, there'll be left here, right here. And that'll be his left. I'm turning left now. Okay, now I'm going to turn right. Alright, the reason I'm clipping these wires is, and clip leading them, is because I need to bring out a couple more leads out of here for other places that need the hot wire. So, when this gets down onto here, there'll be 1 or 2 more wires on. I'll probably put 2 more on here, and that'll give me enough plus wires to work with. Okay, I found a red button, a low current button that I had in my junk box when I customized my 71 Ford van. And it's going to be the fart button. I mount that there. So that'll be separate, and I'll be able to identify what's what. So it's either to be the fart button or it'll be something else, but at least I utilize this hole. I hate just have a hole in there for no reason. Then it's got the spade type of connectors. So when I do that, I'll use 2 black wires and put that through there, unless I use the wireless fart thing, but I'm not even sure if I'm going to do that or not, because I don't think that'll go over too well with the skits. There may be some people that might like Uncle Dorkel farting, but I think most of them would rather have him not produce any gas. Now, I use these cheap Harbor Freight meters as knockarounds, but the leads are crappy. They broke right off, but I got a lot of use out of this, so I just broke open another meter here, and see, the leads that just break right off. The damn things are no good. The meter still works, so that's all right. These are freebies anyways, and they're good enough for checking continuity and rough voltage measurements and so on and so forth. I have much better meters. The only thing I did save from my shop is my digital meters. And so anyways, what I'm going to do here now is, I don't have a battery holder, but for the eyes. All right. I decided, changes are going all the time, I decided to use this for the eyes. Okay? Instead of the fart. We're going to use this for the eyes. And I just put the wires on now. I don't have any resistors to drop the 12 volts down to 5.5 to 6 volts. So, I got to get a battery holder to hold a couple of these cells. I measured about 1.2 to 1.5 amps of draw on the eye motor, a little more than I thought. But that depends on the load, because when that crank goes around, if you look way back on the very early videos when I was building the head of Uncle Dorkel, the head eye motor has a little crank on it, and it just cranks back and forth like this, and it turns the eyes like this. Of course, I didn't center it right, so that's why the eyes don't turn all the way over from one extreme to the other. I'd have to cut his head open and redo it. I'm not going to do that. But what I'm going to do is, this button here will enable me to run a battery pack in here and tie it to the common negative, which goes back to here. This is the eye wire, so complete the circuit to the eye motor. So, rather than to drop the voltage from this, now we're going to finish up. We're done here today. I think I accomplished quite a bit today. So, I'm very happy with the outcome. This looks a little sloppy, but there's no big deal. There's plenty of room in this box. I just push these wires in and close it down. So, this is the mouth trigger. This will be the eyes. This is the left and right head. One of the screws fell out of here, and I couldn't get it in. With my bad eyesight, I couldn't thread it in there. But I'm not using this side of the switch. Originally, you'd be using both sides of a double pole, double throw switch. But because of the relays, you're only using one side. The 12 volts comes in here, relay 1 here, relay 2 here, coils, and the commons are negative. Quite simple, actually. So here's some extra positive wires. This just happened to have a lug on it. So there's extra blacks, which will be used not necessarily for negatives, but for switching and sending other stuff down. Like if I do use the fart feature. I'm not sure about that yet. But I'm going to knock off now. I found my unibits. These are burnt on the end a little bit. They threw these away. I used to clean the maintenance shop up when I was working. That was one of my jobs besides cleaning other places where I worked. And they tossed these out. There's only like, some of them only have 2 bits in them, others have 3. And it works very well on drilling these holes. I don't have to file them. But they tossed them because the ends, not on this one, but on the other ones, the ends got burnt. Probably drilling through stainless steel or whatever, trying to ream the hole in stainless. Now, these are good. These are very good things. They tossed them out in the trash. Oh, this was probably 10 years ago. I accomplished quite a bit today, and this will give me some time to think a little bit as to what else I want to add in here. You got the mouth trigger, you got the head, and you got the eyes. The only thing is I have to get a battery pack in here or reduce the voltage. If I had my shop, I'd been able to come up with something. But I don't have any resistors, and I hate to use resistors. They waste power just to get the voltage down. But I don't have any anyway, so I'll figure something out. And there's plenty of room for other features to go in here. So that's it, folks. Thanks for watching.